Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Dano, aka Cobra Concept, with the Brews and the Boys podcast with my best friend,
Garrett, aka Desperate Saint.
and you have just stumbled across the best podcast to get your brew onto. And you're probably sitting here wondering, why in the world did he change that? It's because I totally forgot what I usually say
After we rehearsed it before
after we rehearsed it and
before we
everything.
went
Yeah,
live.
so here we are. The Brews are back.
Back.
We're back, baby, and we're better
Better than ever.
than ever. I still don't know how you say it. Like, kill me.
I'm just built different.
Just different, man. Just built different. Well, cool. So guys, if you're not familiar with us, we are content creators, Twitch streamers, funny guys, beer enthusiasts, avid drinkers. I don't know, not alcoholics, but I mean, darn close, baby. But anyways, we like to provide all kinds of content, and if you are stumbling across the Brews and the Boys podcast for the very first time, welcome in. We're glad to have you.
Daddy's home.
So, Daddy's home. He's been drinking. Cool.
So people are probably a little curious real quick. We've been gone for like 3 weeks. So
I think it's 4.
4 weeks? Well, we've been gone
I think
for 4
it's been
weeks.
a whole month.
So what we're gonna do our normal spill. If you're new, what we like to do every episode, we get a beer that we've never had, IPA, stouts, porters, ales, doesn't matter what it is. As long as it can be drank, it will be drank. And we just kind of talk about our week and upcoming events. And now this episode's weird because we're going to be talking about the previous entire month, which we normally don't do. But with that being said, we're going to get to probably one of my favorite parts of the podcast, and that is telling you and everybody, and Dano, what we're drinking for the episode. So, Dano, you started out.
Cool. And as I'm about to tell you about this, you might wiggle your microphone. I'm catching feedback. I don't know if anybody else is. So, you might just give it a nudge. Nope. Almost. Try again. You're getting there, but you're still...
Hello, how's that?
That's it.
Bingo.
You sound crisp. Yeah.
There we
Cool.
go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Can't really pause it, so since we're live.
It's all good.
But okay, so I actually have a really cool, interesting beer. It's a New England style IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's the backstory on this. My girlfriend, I think about almost 5 weeks ago. So like I've been wanting to do this for about a month now. It's been a solid month, and I felt so guilty not being able to do this. But she went down to South Carolina and she visited the Frothy Beer Company, and met like the owners or whatever, and was talking to them about how we do a podcast. On the spot, they got on there, followed us, subscribed to us, so that way they could hear the next episode where I review their beer. And so this is that episode. And I'm sorry, it's been a solid month. So I hope you haven't forgot about us. But here we go. It's a New England style IPA. It's it's a pink can. It's got a little bearded guy on the front.
That's sick.
It is kind of cool. It looks like a little pig in the background. Which, off topic, South Carolina like BBQ is actually not bad. It's not Memphis. It's not Memphis barbecue, but it's not bad. So anyways, I believe that this is brewed and canned out of South Carolina, but it says Charleston, so it must be Charleston, South Carolina. It's a 6.8% alcohol percentage. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks clean. I'm excited to try it. And thank you for the recommendation. And when you gave it to Michaela and you said, check this out. So I'm really excited to try it. So,
Can's sick.
What are you sipping? Hey, the can is sick. Garrett, what are you sipping?
I am drinking Rheingeist, Cloud Harvest 05. super
Yeah.
sick can. Can caught my eye. It's an unfiltered, juicy IPA. Um, it's got some verbiage. So here we go. Here, listen to me
Oh no.
struggle.
Strap in. Strap in. Put your seatbelts on yet.
So Cloud Harvest '05 Juicy India Pale Ale. I don't know this word. You might not be able to see. It might not focus enough. Aitutaki. Atutaki? I don't know. Sorry if I butchered that. A lonely lagoon sits square in the almost atoll. Rewind. The lonely lagoon sits square in the almost atoll like a turquoise eye of Providence. Watching the waves come and go, reflecting endless deep blue skies, feel free to get lost, but, not too lost. Notes of citrus, passion fruit, and strawberry. 6.5 ABV, brewed and canned in Cincinnati, Ohio. Rheingeist,
Nice.
Cloud Harvest '05.
Dude, okay. Cloud Harvest is my favorite Rheingeist.
Really?
You're in for a treat. Although the one I tried on the podcast in season 1, I think it was like the second episode, was the 03, was the Cloud Harvest 03. So you got 05, right?
'05.
05. And it looks like a different can. So I'm curious. I wonder if it's different.
They had a lot
You
of
know what I'm saying?
they had a lot of cool ones. I almost got one, but it was like a citrus sour. I don't know how I feel about it, but the can was sick. So sick. But we'll make do with this one for today.
For sure. Yeah. All right. So I guess cheers to you. Cheers to our listeners. Cheers to our viewers. Let's test these bad boys out. Ooh, can crack was nice. Yeah, we gotta do that smell
Oh
action.
man.
Ooh, smells good.
Yeah, say this one smells really good.
You know, that has a very familiar taste to that. I'm trying to
Woo!
place what this kind of tastes like. Okay. Okay.
All right.
So, before we get any further, those who are just now joining us for the very first time, we don't tell you what we think about that beer until the very end because we want to be able to sit on that, taste it, drink it throughout the podcast, and then we're going to finish the podcast with a legit 1 to 10 rating so you know what we think about it. So hang tight till the end of the podcast. That way we don't just give a, initial taste and yeah, that's good. We want it to be a well-deserved high rating. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh.
You okay over there?
It's
Recovering from the hiccup still?
recovering from the hiccups from last night. Yes, that is very true. We'll get to that story soon. But before we do that, we better tell them what we've been doing for the past month and like 3 days.
Sleeping.
We've just
That's
been
it.
hibernating the whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, the very first week, we were not able to do the podcast because I got up at 4:00, or was it 3? I think it was 3:00. Drove up to Louisville, got in an airplane, flew out to Denver, got to Denver, had to wait 3 hours because my Nets plane was delayed. And then I finally arrived in Reno, Nevada. So, it was really cool. We did a big out west trip, and so that's why we missed the very first week. And Garrett, if you're cool with it, I'll just go ahead and recap my whole
You're good.
All right, I'm gonna recap that trip. So after we got the Reno, and Garrett, if you have questions throughout the time or comments or concerns, bring them out and we'll just talk about it then.
Okay.
Cool. So we left Reno. Reno was kind of wild looking. It was kind of like, you got it was kind of deserty, but not really. It just looked like there was patches of like weeds, but there wasn't like grass. Like they didn't have to worry about grass there. 100%. Lawn care was not a thing. Like in Kentucky, like from where we're at, like if you got a nice lawn, you've got a nice lawn. But anyways, we got out there, drove from Reno down to Lake Tahoe, and we spent 2 days out there at Lake Tahoe, and let me tell you, that was the most beautiful area I have ever seen in my entire life. It was dude, I was so blown away, dude.
It is
You
awesome.
could see it was super cool. Yeah, you've been
Mm-hmm.
before?
Yep.
Um, I think the most wildest part is so we got kayaking. We got to like we got some kayaks and like the whole family went out. And so we were kayaking and as we're going along, you're looking down at the water going, I can still see the bottom. Like that's clearly like 20 feet down. I can still see the bottom. The only time that I couldn't see the bottom was when it was flat too deep. Not because the water was dirty or anything. That was the most crystal clear water I have ever seen in my entire life. It was nuts, dude. So we got done kayaking. We did all kinds of like trips around the lake and we did a big gondola ride and we were taking pictures and stuff and just seeing everything. I even got on the Brews and the Boys account and posted a little video of myself trying a I think it was a West Coast IPA from I can't even remember who it was. It was a purple and orange can.
It
Do you
looked
happen to
good.
remember?
I don't remember the name. I could probably look it up real quick.
Okay. It was a double dry, double hop, and it about kicked my butt. It was good, but it wasn't the recommendation for me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like it wasn't my go-to, but it was good. Um so we spent about 2 days just hanging out, swimming, trying to swim actually because it was freezing cold in that water. Climbing on some rocks, jumping, doing some cool stuff. And then we actually drove north and started going up towards like Mount Shasta and the Lassen volcanic area, which was super cool. Enjoyed that. Was crazy to see like all of these like really big heights. And we had been to Glacier National Forest 2 years ago, and nothing compares to that. But it was wild to see. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like you were still going
100%.
and
Yeah.
going. I've never seen that before. All of the sulfur and stuff obviously stunk, but it was such a beautiful sight. It was really cool. And that water was like milky colored,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Weird. Then then after that we actually drove up to Oregon. Just to say we did. We didn't really have anything other than just to say, hey, we crossed into Oregon and we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But that was super cool. Was wild to me how many as soon as you cross the border, it was like cannabis store, cannabis store,
Oh yeah.
cannabis store. It was just like back to back to back, like that's all you saw. It's kind of wild to me. Um After that, we stopped by this and so that was the first time I've ever seen the Pacific Ocean. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Drove into Oregon and looking over, that was my first time ever seeing the Pacific Ocean. And that was a weird sight. That does not look like the Gulf of Mexico at all.
No.
Like, wow, it couldn't have been a more of a difference. Like it's a straight 180. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot like looks like more evil over there like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know if it's just like I feel like over there's darker anyways, like kind of cloudy normally, but like that Pacific just looks so like menacing. Like it's so much
Hmm.
rougher, I think. And you've got more like uh you know, cliff face and stuff on that end versus you do like here in the Atlantic or down, you know, uh
Right.
down south.
And that cliff space was that was wild to see. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you were going along on the coast, kind of weaving, and you were looking back at like all these big rocks and stuff, and looking ahead, and you saw like cliffs that just kind of dropped off, and like you were driving around them and stuff. It was really cool. We actually had probably the best seafood I've had, and I couldn't tell you how long. Um, right there, as soon as you cross the border in Oregon, it was called Catalyst Seafood. The dude, we talked to the guy. He brought me some local beer there, and I can't remember what it was, but he was telling us about catalysts and stuff. And he's like, yeah, we've got like a couple workers here that do the cooking, couple waitresses and stuff. And he said, and then I own the restaurant. I get up about like 3 or 4 in the morning and I start filleting all the fish we caught the day before. And he said, and then we cook it that
that
day.
day.
Yeah, and I was like, dang, no wonder that tasted so fresh. But I ended up buying a shirt from them because it was an amazing place. B, they were very friendly. And then C, they had a really cool yellow shirt, kind of like Kitchen Witch's yellow shirt.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's a good color for me.
it works. It's flattering.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. So after that, we kind of drove down, started hitting a lot of spots in California. We went to I think three of the redwoods of the national forest. We went to Humboldt, I know, and I'm trying to remember the other two.
Did you go to Muir?
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
I think is that the more southern of
That's
the
the
three?
one right outside of San Francisco.
Yes. Yeah, that was the last one we hit. Um, and they were really cool. So I didn't see the sequoia trees. I missed that part of the trip. So the redwoods to me were like, wow, like I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen this. I was kind of blown away because they told us that only about 4% of those trees were still alive. And as we were driving through these redwood forests, I'm like, there's no chance. Like, there are a ton of these trees. There's got to be like 8%, 9% or something,
Mm-hmm.
unless California is really that big. And I mean, it might really be that big. But we got some really cool stats on these redwood trees. A lot of things that kind of blew my mind. Like, for example, they get 80% of their water nutrients not from the ground. They get 80% from the fog that comes in the Pacific Ocean. That blew my mind. That was cool. That was
Mm-hmm.
really cool. And that's kind of where they grow so tall, is to catch all of that moisture and stuff. And they said that a lot of times when a parent tree falls down, a lot of other smaller redwoods will start growing up in place of that parent tree, which I thought was cool. But otherwise, they wouldn't have grown without the parent tree being gone and the
Yeah.
sun coming through and stuff like that. Now I will tell you, there was one time that we were sitting here talking to this park ranger, and she was really cool and she knew so much about trees. And it really it they put one out in left field right on us, and we weren't ready for it. But she was like, "Yeah, these trees heal so quick. They're quick at healing.
Mm-hmm.
This one just burnt down 60 years ago, and it's already starting to heal itself, replenish, and this and that. And this place is a place of healing, and that's why I come here, because my son died about a year ago, and just without missing a beat, just continues on. And we're all kind of like, oh, like,
Yeah.
sorry, like not even sure what to do. And she just kept going, like didn't break a sweat, nothing. And we were like, oh, okay. But at the
Yikes.
end, we were able to say, hey, we're sorry about your loss, and
Mm-hmm.
thank you for everything you're doing here. But it was still kind of like we just were not expecting that.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird. We were like, oh, um, after all those redwood places, we went down. We saw the Glass Beach. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, I saw seals for the first time. That was cool. I saw an elk for the first time. That was cool. Um, which it's funny because now that I've seen like a moose, which was like 2 years ago, um, and I saw that moose like up close and personal, like it was like 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing compares to a moose anymore.
No, they're huge.
Like
They're huge.
elk, I look at, I'm like, yeah, that thing's small compared to that moose. I wouldn't mess with it, never.
But in all actuality, like elk are actually very large
Oh yeah, it was
animals as
huge.
well.
Like I would say it was about one and a half bigger than, not one and a half. It was about
They're quite a bit bigger than like a regular like deer,
yes,
like a whitetail.
yes, quite a bit bigger. I couldn't really give you a very good estimate of how big they are, but they were pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
That blew me away. Um, and then after we did all that, we went down and we saw San Francisco, which was super cool to me. I was so stoked to see the Golden Gate Bridge and everything, and pulled up to that top bridge where everybody stops to take pictures of the whole
Yeah.
bridge. And I tell you what, I've never seen a place so foggy in my life.
Yep.
I barely even saw one edge of the bridge.
I've actually got a selfie on my. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I've got a selfie on my Instagram of me and my little brother at that lookout, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hmm.
Uh, it's sick. It was so cool. The only thing, so like it was fairly like whenever I was there, it seemed like dirty. Like down at, so we went to you go to the
Yeah,
Fisherman's Wharf.
the wharf. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some mangy looking folk down at the wharf, which I mean you do, in every city.
Oh,
They're
for sure,
so
for
people,
sure.
but it was nuts.
We So when we finally drove across the bridge, of course, we're like looking around, like, wow, this is cool. This is neat. How big this bridge is, and we're finally going across this big monumental bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like it's big time for us over
Yeah.
here in Kentucky because it's the Golden Gate Bridge. Um, and it kind of blew my mind how many bikers, how many walkers, how many like just flat tourists there were.
Mhm.
Um, we actually missed our turn after getting off the bridge. We were supposed to take the interstate all the way around, but for some unknown reason, we got over and got off of the interstate, and our 25-minute drive turned into about a 55-minute drive to where we were going, just because we got off that interstate and had to drive through the city. Um, Other than that, we got some cool sights. Kind of blew my mind how many places there were. Oh my gosh,
Oh
dude!
yeah.
Like there was just business after business and restaurant and fast food and this and that. And you would pass a McDonald's, and about 10 minutes later, you'd pass another McDonald's and another McDonald's, or, a Taco Bell, another Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it was like city after city after city, and it was all one city. And that blew my mind because out here,
Each
you've
town
got a
has one
couple,
restaurant.
yeah, you've
Like
got like a
one
couple
of each.
restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see
A
that
little
or not,
blurry.
but that is us right, but you can see like all the fog.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little foggier for me. Like you barely could tell it was the bridge. I was showing people the picture. And I was like, "What do you think this is?" And they're like, "I don't know." It's like, "Well, that's the Golden Gate Bridge." That's how great that picture was.
Mhm.
But after that, we kind of just spent the night just chilling out because we had a hard full week of just hard at it, just hike after hike, stuff like that. So anyways, we ended up just taking the night off, woke up the next morning, went to the airport, and then we actually got delayed after we left California. We landed in Chicago and we had to stay in Chicago for several hours. And by the time I got home, it was just about to be 6 o'clock. And I told Garrett, I was like, there ain't no chance that I'm recording this podcast. I'm sorry. It was too late. I was out. I'm pretty sure I got home, put all my stuff away, laid down my bed, and I was done.
Like a light.
Dude, out like a light, man. Slept like a log and everything. I was out. But yeah. Um and so like the whole time I'm sitting here like checking in on like you all. I'm tuning in the streams and stuff and like trying my best to talk and
Mhm.
uh I a couple times that was during the Overwatch tournament too.
Yes.
And so what all did you do that week that I was gone? That way we can just kind of hit
Missed
week
you.
after week.
No, it's pretty, same thing here. Holding her down, doing some working, doing some streaming, some content creating, Discord and gaming. That was that was about it. Um, and I guess it was, when did you get back?
Sunday.
Like day.
Sunday.
Okay.
Is that not what you were
No,
asking?
like what? Like June this or like what day? Because I'm trying to
I think I was
get my
out
time
June
frame.
20th to June 27th.
Okay. So yeah, so you got back before I went on my little, I call it, it's not a trip. But really it's just, play video games, hang out, do the normal. We didn't do anything crazy. I haven't really done a lot of traveling. The week after you got back, the week going into the 4th of July, um, myself, my wife, my in-laws all went to a baseball game, went up to Cincinnati, where Ryan Geist
Mhm.
has brewed. My father-in-law is a massive Cubs fan. I'm a Reds fan. I'm actually wearing my red shirt right now. Went and watched a game on the 4th, and I tell you, there's probably no cooler feeling than being at Great American Ballpark on the 4th of July watching some baseball. That was a cool feeling. Plus,
Yeah.
it's first baseball game I've gotten to go to in over a year because of the season getting shut down last year, and we had great seats, awesome game. And then so we had went up. I'd gotten off work Saturday, and after I got off work, me and the wife loaded up, went stayed the night in Cincy, found a really cool brewery while we were down in Cincy. Actually, if you're in the community Discord, I posted it in the beers chat, which was super cool. Had a couple really good beers. The place was like very it was small. They had like 15 different beers that they kind of rotate out,
Yeah.
but they had a lot of bourbon or whiskey barrel beers. So
Mhm.
like it's super heavy. I didn't try one. My father-in-law got one, and it was probably the nastiest thing I've ever tried. Uh, it was bad.
Yeah.
But I got some cool lagers, a really nice double IPA and a regular IPA. It was a really cool spot. I can't remember the name of it, and I'm kind of kicking myself because anyone who
I know.
listens that's in that area, I totally recommend you go try it. I'll have to figure it out. Uh, but then after that, we wife and I loaded up. We get about halfway home, and I get a text from Dano. He's like, "What are you doing?" You know, I was like, "Huh? Well, we're on our way home from Cincinnati. Like, we just spent a couple days up there." He's like, "Okay, well, it's 4th. We're going to Dorbs. Come on." So we rush home, take all of our stuff out of the car, head up to Indiana, stop, get me a couple beers, head up to Indiana. We go to Dorbs, and this is like what 7:30 when we get there.
It's about 7:30. Yeah.
So we're like, oh yeah, we'll just hang out for a little bit, eat, and watch some fireworks, and go home. Well, it is summertime, and it wasn't dark until like 10 o'clock. So we swim, and me and Dano are like doing basketball tricks in the pool and stuff, dunking on kids.
Because, when you have a basketball goal above the pool, you got to
You got
dunk
to,
on it, you
you got to.
know? You
But
can't just shoot. You have to dunk it.
so we all did that. We're eating, hanging out, drinking, having a good time, and they're like, "It's time for fireworks." And Dano and our buddy Ethan like run off. Like I don't know where they're at, so they left me with my wife, Ethan's wife, and Daniel's girlfriend. I'm like, I'm gonna go find the guys. I'll be back. And
Go hang out with the guys.
I never told you this, so like I've actually never like done fireworks before. I've never helped with fireworks before, so that was my
Yeah.
first time. And
Heck yeah, dude.
one of the first ones I did, I drop it in the tube. It doesn't go off, blows up the tube on the ground, about gets all of us. It about got all. I mean, it was bad. It just like got stuck and did not shoot out. It just boom right there on the ground, blew a hole out the side of the tube. I mean, it was crazy.
It was a good time.
But
Uh,
we lit up the sky. Had a lot of big booms. It was a good time. It was a really good time.
that was a good time. And that's actually why we missed the third uh podcast because we were doing 4th of July stuff.
Well, that and I didn't get home until I think I pulled into the house at like 6:30.
Hmm. But yeah. So fun fact, I've always done that with Ethan. Um, it's kind of a tradition. We always go on the 4th up to his dad's, and we'll sit there and fire off some fireworks. Uh, but it's funny because like I have also like exploded one of the tubes with the wrong firework in the wrong tube. So no worries, I'm right there with you. But it's always a good time, especially
Mm-hmm.
when like you feel like you're putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you sit there and you watch fireworks, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is fun. I like this." But when you're the one lighting them and they're shooting off like right there in front of your face and you're staring up in the sky watching, you're like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Well, it's funny
I don't
because
know what it is.
it was hilarious because there's like 4 or 5 of us over there, right? We're like, all right, everyone go grab a lighter. Like, we're going to be good. We'll light them all at the
Mhm.
same time, do some real cool stuff. We ended up with 2. And so, like, we'd set out 4 or 5 of fireworks and we're like lighting these ones, running to the other ones to try to light them before that stuff went off, like right in your face. It was
Yeah.
hilarious. It was so funny.
It was definitely a good time. Although I'm a little shocked that none of us got hurt. Especially after the whole like you said, you'd light it and then you run real quick and try to light the next one, the next wick wouldn't take, and you're like, that one's about to take off any second.
And so
Now
you
you
just
better
like
light.
dive out of the way. You just
Yeah.
dive away, make sure you didn't get hit.
I still remember there was one of them that I barely got off and I barely got out of the way. And I remember hearing it was either you or Ethan go, "Oh God!" like he's done. And I managed to get out of the way in time, and everybody was like, "Okay,
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good time.
it wasn't."
And
So
then you
yeah,
want to
that's
tell
why
them
we
why
missed.
we missed the next week?
Oh heck yeah! All right, so you're probably like, dang, these guys like take a lot of vacations. No,
No,
it's a hundred
no.
percent. We've been planning all of this summer stuff for like months now, and we finally managed to get out there and do it.
And they just so
So,
happened to be
and
4 weeks in a
yeah,
row.
they all just so happen to be right, boom, 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 right then. So this past weekend, right? This past weekend, yeah, yeah, yeah. The weekend, yeah.
Yes.
It's the 9, 10, 11, yeah. We actually we made a big trip out to the lake. We both took off Friday. Got out there on Friday about 11, 12, and just boated. Just started boating. Got on the pontoon, had a few cold ones. A couple of buddies came and joined us. Shout out to Feldabucci and Hambone and oh my god. And I'm trying to think of Ethan's Discord name and I can't think.
I have no idea Ethan's
I
name.
think it's like Tharton or something. And then all of our girlfriends slash wives, and we all just kind of hung out, drank the night away, drank the day away.
Not the first night.
Uh,
First night you couldn't get me to move.
oh, I know. We so let's see, let's recap it. We got there on the very first day. What's okay? The first thing that went wrong. First thing that went wrong was I forgot to put the kill switch in the boat, so it kept killing the battery or killing the engine, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? And then we figured it out, and I felt like an idiot. Second thing that went wrong, we realized we didn't bring bread on the boat, so we had some keto sandwiches. What's the next thing that went wrong? We didn't really have too many things
I
go
say it
wrong,
wasn't too many
actually.
things go wrong. Uh,
No. But we got the quote unquote Jesus mat out, the thing that you can walk on the water with. Played on that, played on the jet ski.
some fish were biting us.
Went for a lot of rides. Huh?
Some fish were biting us while we were on the Jesus
Some
mat.
fish. Those fish are annoying, dude. It's not
Oh,
like they're like biting you, but they're like nipping at you to the point where you're like, this thing's annoying.
so I've got a very funny story from the first day.
Okay.
So we had just gotten out there. It's myself, it is Dano, it's Ethan, and my wife. We're the first ones out there for quite some time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We get there, we can't check into the cabin or condo yet. Like, you know what, we're gonna go out on the boat. So, I load myself up a couple beers. We all kind of have a couple beers, and we take off. Okay, and I'm getting sunscreen on. We're doing all this sunscreen and getting ready. So we go back to this cove that I don't know if you all remember in previous episodes we've talked about. I've got lost on the jet ski. Well, we went back to the cove where for the year prior I got on the jet ski and got lost. I wasn't on the jet ski this time. But we go and
Thankfully.
pull up at the beach. We all hop out, do a little bit of swimming. Shooting the breeze, stuff like that. And me and Ethan end up getting up out of the boat or getting into the boat. We're just like kind of sitting on the side, and Ethan spits off the side of the boat. He spits off the side of the boat, and the next thing we know, there's like a couple little fish coming and like eating the spit, and we're like, hell, we're gonna see how long we can keep this going. So both of us are just like spitting off the side of the boat, and we end up with enough fish. I mean, there's probably 20 of them at least.
20 or 30 easily.
Just from spitting off this. Oh, it was the funniest thing, and I have no idea why. And we have a bunch of them, so we go back, and we're going to pick up Brucey and his girlfriend Caitlin, and we were telling him, like, dude, you won't believe what me and Ethan did. Like, we had so many fish right here. Brucey's like, no way. And so, like, we go back out and we dock somewhere and they start spitting, and here comes more fish doing the same thing. Oh, yeah. Man. Oh, it's so funny.
I don't know why you guys were so invested.
Dude, it was like 25 minutes.
Oh, I know, yeah. You guys were there for a long time. Like, we sat down and started eating some more, and, like, we started throwing, like, a few pieces of, like, their food, cheese, and no bread, because they didn't have bread.
They went crazy for cheese.
They were kind of. I hope cheese is not bad for fish. We're about to get in trouble by the like fish and wildlife.
We all right.
But it was a good time. It was a great time. We ended up. We didn't get too burnt.
I did.
We definitely got burnt, but not to the point like. So the year prior, Ethan's wife Julia just got smoked. Absolutely red as a lobster.
Like she had sun poisoning.
Oh yeah, for sure. So nobody actually got to that level. So I think we did pretty good. We had to dodge a lot of rain throughout the week. It was very like scattered storms. Never once saw lightning, but I mean, like it's annoying when there's rain and you're sitting here on the lake.
Especially when it's already coming down hard, and then you're trying to go against it in a boat or on the wave runner. It can get a little rough then.
Yeah. So thankfully we dodged most of that. And then I guess the next morning we got up, grabbed some breakfast, went out on the boat, hung out, did the same thing. I'm trying to think. I think after a good long time, we went back in, grabbed Hambone. He finally showed up. And we came back out, and so like we're out for a couple of hours, and we finally see the storm rolling in, and we're like, all right, we need to beat it. We need to get out of here because that storm looks like it's actually going to rain. And so we're pulling back into our dock slip, and there is a boat in our way, and we're like, oh, are you kidding me? So we finally come up inside to the marina and say, hey, there's a boat in our dock. And they said, oh, it's ours. And I said, okay, well, we need to pull our boat in. It's about to rain. And they said, oh, yeah, sorry, we'll move that out of the way. And then it ended up being me, Garrett, Bruce, and Ethan, and Andrew
move their boat.
Get their boat out of our slip. And we finally moved that boat, get my boat all the way back in and into our right slip. And it just, I'm telling you, it was a torrential absolute downpour. And we barely missed that coming into the dock. But because we had to wait on that other boat, we had to walk up through the torrential downpour to get back to the cabin we were staying in.
Yeah.
So because they had their boat in the way, we got stuck into that downpour.
And you're trying to load the wave runner in the pouring
rain. And we loaded the wave runner in the pouring rain.
And getting all the coolers, and because it was Saturday, so we were leaving the next day. So anyways, this is probably what, 5-ish?
It was a little after 6.
Was it? Well, so we did that. and it was pouring. We're like, we couldn't tell if it was kind of going away or staying. So we're like, you know what? We're good for the day. We're gonna order some pizza. We'll hang out. And I was like, there's a couple of us that watch fights, and we're like, we're gonna get the fights, like some UFC fights. So from
Because that's when
Connor versus
Conor
Poirier.
McGregor and
Yep.
Poirier were fighting.
So for the next like 7 hours, we watched UFC fights in the condo, which only had one couch and like one recliner. But like a bunch of us brought air mattresses, so we blew up air mattresses and filled the entire living room floor with air mattresses and watched fights.
So Garrett's wife and my girlfriend sat on the couch, and then like on the air mattress right beside the couch, me and Garrett and Andrew all just laid out, sprawled out, just watching these fights. It was fun. I There was some very questionable things said while we
There
were sitting
was,
there.
there's some sights to be seen. Uh,
Some memories to be had.
it was a good time. Lake trip
Yeah.
in the last year was a really good time. This year was a good time. It's always a fun trip. We didn't flip the jet ski this year, which was a big plus.
Which, can I tell that story real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So, fun story, if you didn't hear about this already. Last year, I went and picked up Garrett and his wife on the jet ski because I was like, I'm not going to take the anchor up on the boat, take this up, drive it all the way over there. I'll just take the jet ski. It's a lot quicker. I didn't think about them having their stuff with them. And that was where I was. There was the flaw in the plan right then and there. So we drive all the way over there, pick them up, drive all the way back to the boat. And I tell you what, we didn't have a single issue. And then right there at the very end, right before we get to the boat, we leaned too far to one side. That thing started sinking. We flipped it. And so I'm holding, I think it was Mackenzie's bag, but Garrett
Full
put
of my
all of
beer.
their stuff. It has Garrett's beer, their phones, everything. And I tell you what, I was not going to let that thing drop in. So, like, I went in the water and shoved that thing up in the air as high as I can. And I can feel the water going up my hands as I was slowly sinking. Like, I'm swimming, flat swimming as hard as I can. And as all that beer and everything in that bag was slowly pulling me under the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not about to lose this here. And then I would get so much flack. But finally, somebody reached down and grabbed it and pulled it back in the boat because we were right there. We were
Yeah.
right there. But yeah. So it was a good time.
So we
It
didn't have
might
that
have gotten
repeat.
a tad wet. Yeah.
We
We
didn't
didn't
have a
have that
repeat of
repeat.
that, so we did good this year.
Yeah. I blew it though. But one of the best parts is I finally gave up and I was like, man, I can't watch any more UFC fights. I'm so tired. I've been hard at it. The drinks are getting to me. I finally fell asleep, went to bed, and they were gonna wake me up when that fight was about to start, the McGregor and Poirier, and they didn't wake us up. And it was probably a good thing after the results. So
Yeah, it was crazy.
oh.
So it ended up myself, my wife, Hambone, Bucci, and his girlfriend Caitlin all stayed up and finished watching the fights. Uh, but overall, it was a good weekend. Trip to the lake was always fun. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Past 2 years, but now we're back. No
We
more.
back.
Yeah, we're back. No more 4 week long unintentional gaps
Mm-hmm.
like what we just went through. But it's okay. It's okay. We're still here, and you all still here. So that's all that matters.
Heck yeah. Um. So yeah, I think that's about all of the reasons why we missed. Hopefully, you still love us and won't ever leave us. Come back.
Don't hold it against us.
Yeah. Um. So, anyways, that's kind of the vacations in a nutshell. We want to hop into the meat and beans right here and talk about content creation for a little bit, so it's not all about our big vacay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
Cool. Um, so Garrett, what you been streaming? What you been playing?
Escape from Tarkov.
Yes, yes, you have.
That is it.
I know.
That's all I've been playing is Escape from Tarkov. It's like a hyper realism tactical shooter. I mean, you can change out uh, grips and dust covers, rail systems, magazines, barrels. I mean, you have to have adapters to add on different compensators, muzzle brakes, silencers. It's pretty in depth. Different types of ammo that do different kinds of things. A very technical game. Uh, and I have been absolutely ate the up with it. It's been nuts.
I feel like every time I tune into your stream, it's like just Escape from Tarkov. I'm like, all right, well, I hate this game, but I'll stay.
And it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. We played a little bit of Valorant, not much. Last night did some Knockout City, played some Pummel, played some Overwatch. Uh, did just chatting for like an hour and a half.
Last night,
Yeah. After everyone got off, it was just me, Steven, Corey, Helm, and Sammy, and everyone just turned their cameras on. I threw Discord over on the first monitor, full screened it, and we just talked.
that's cool. That's cool.
Very I wouldn't say talked. We slurred. We slurred. Uh, we've planned a we're doing a fantasy football league this year in the
Oh,
community Discord.
nice, nice. That
Uh, but yeah, mainly a lot of Tarkov recently.
well, cool.
Yourself?
Kind of everything, if I'm being honest with you. So,
You
like,
played
I'm
some
even
Apex
going
and stuff
to
too.
do what?
You'd played some Apex too, I believe I saw.
I think so. Yeah. Okay, let me scroll down to Cobra Concepts recently streamed categories. So, Pummel Party,
Mm-hmm.
Knockout City,
Mm-hmm.
Valorant,
Mm-hmm.
Blood Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
Rocket League,
Mm-hmm.
Apex,
Uh-huh.
Just Chatting,
Uh-huh.
and then before my vacation, Skyrim
Uh-huh.
and Fall Guys.
Uh-huh.
So I've quite literally streamed a lot of different things. Um, I'll tell you right off the bat, Blood Hunt was awful. Hated every bit of it. But had a really good time last night playing and streaming in that Knockout City tournament. Shout out to our winners. They absolutely destroyed
Yeah.
us. They were really good.
So
But it was cool. It was cool because they were very humble. I didn't feel like they were very toxic to us
mm-mm.
because sometimes you get new people that join in and they just want to come in and
Run
they
that
just want to
mouth.
talk trash to you the whole time. They just want to run their mouth and you're like, this sucks. Didn't get that. These guys were actually cool. They hung out in voice chat for a while. Um, after after we were about to play like the final match, I was like, all right, we're about to get our butts kicked in right here. We're about to get destroyed. And they said, well, you never know, just trying to play fun with us, and it was funny. But I enjoyed playing in that Knockout City tournament. Um, Definitely enjoyed my new toy that I got. Um, so shout out to a viewer and a friend, Sarge. Sarge donated $15 in stream, I think, about a week and a half ago, for me to buy this new toy that I'm going to show off right now. This is a flabango. Basically, there's a hole right here in the bottom and a hole in its mouth, and you pour your beer in here and you drink it like a beer bong. And these are fun. These are really
It looked
fun.
like it worked too.
Yeah. So I said, after 10 subs, I was gonna use a flabango, and so I had one of those, but I also had one just to test it out, and then I ended up doing it twice more because you all convinced me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
For like right before Pummel and during Pummel.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did it, but I did it. So four flabongos, and I was toasty last night. I finally got off because the hiccups were too much for me. Like I couldn't even breathe because I was hiccuping so much. I was like, this is terrible. But had a great stream, had a fun
Mm-hmm.
time. The knockout
I did
city was
too.
fun. Pummel party, I got obliterated in a pummel party. I don't even remember half the game, but it was fun.
Pummel's
Um,
what does it to you. Pummel gets me every time I play it.
I'm more like that with
Golf.
uh golf with your friends. Golf with your friends gets me quick. If we had played golf with your friends, I wouldn't have made it long. But we also did some Rocket League and some Valorant early last week. That was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, dude, I've been having some really weird streams that have like quite literally popped off. I had a Rocket League stream that hit about 20 viewers I think about 2 weeks ago. I had a Valorant stream that trying to remember. I think we hit about 28, and I was like, "How did that even happen?"
Mm-hmm.
Last night we hit 24 for Knockout City, and then here's the wildest one. Right before I left on my vacation,
Oh
which
yeah.
nobody knows about this, I did a modded Skyrim playthrough, and I had 35 viewers at one point playing Skyrim, and that was the weirdest thing, dude. I still can't believe. But it's been great for content creation, great times. I'm excited for the next step. I'm about to hear back from Pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in 2 days. I think in 2 days they're going to announce who the winner of the scholarship was, which was the $2,000, the PC setup, this and that, a couple other really cool things. Um, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think I got it because I would have already heard about it. So unless this just happens like the day before and they're like, "Hey, dude, you got it," I'm gonna be like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I got it. But
We'll find
we'll
out.
still hold out hope. We'll hold out hope. Um, and then something else super cool is I finally released my merch.
I saw that.
I've been playing this for like 2 months now. Finally finished some of my designs. I was ready to get them out. And so I've got about 5 new designs and a 2 hats, and I've already made 2 sales. Super stoked about that. I didn't think anybody was going to buy them, and I think I might have to buy my own merch here in a second because I kind of want to wear some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really cool. That's about it. And you know, I'll be completely honest with you. Summer months are incredibly hard for content creation for many reasons, but it is 100% the hardest time for your mental health because like you can just get so bummed out throughout the summer
Oh
months
yeah.
because you don't get viewers, you don't get people stopping by saying this, you don't get people playing games, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different things. And we're almost out of that summer stage. I think we're finally starting to gear up for the fall and winter.
Mm-hmm.
Winter is like winter's go time for content creation. Like you would not believe how many more people watch throughout the winter months than they do throughout the summer months. So I'm excited. I think
Same
uh,
here.
I think I think we're gonna gear up and hit it hard this fall and winter and in 2021 with a really good year and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully start off 2022 just as hard as we did with 2020. Sorry, that was my little tangent there.
No, you're good. I saw your mouth move. I thought you had muted for a second, but you're good. But no, yeah, definitely, definitely. Last night was probably the best stream I've had in a long time. I ended up
Mhm.
at one point had 35, 34, 35
Nice.
viewers. I didn't know
That
until I
hit your button.
mm-mm,
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
mm-mm. So I'd hit it at one point to see how close we were to 1050 follows, and I was chilling at like 22 while we were just chatting. But then I got off for the night, went upstairs, got me a little snacky snack, got me a and
Order.
water, and looked at my phone, saw the Twitch summary email, clicked it. Max viewers like 34. Is it 34 or 35 at one
Do you
point?
still get the Twitch summaries? I
Mm-hmm.
know I don't get those anymore. How do you still get those?
I don't know. I just get them.
The heck? I've been trying to figure out why I don't get them.
Yep, I've been getting them.
Well, that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that and try to figure out what's going on there. But dang, kind of jealous. I want those summaries.
Hmm.
Well, cool. I think we're finally starting to gear back up, get ready, get moving,
Yeah.
get psyched about everything. Um, like I said, it's just a slow summer months. They're hard, which is also a good time to take all these big vacations. Like,
100%. It's okay to take a break.
oh yeah,
And
that is
we had talked about it already, but we did the Knockout City tournament last night.
true.
Winners were Skits, High Flyer, and Thud. Correct.
Yep,
So
you got it.
big shout out to them. I suck at that game very bad. Myself and
See,
Matt,
I don't consider myself good, but I'm like not bad. But like they
you
were
and
good.
Vifox 2v3'd my team first round and whooped us 2 rounds in a row.
Hey, we're decent. Okay, Fox is good though. Fox is
Fox
really
is
good.
good. Fox is good. But
Also, big shout out to Vifox if you happen to be listening to this week's episode. Congrats on getting that audition done and over with and making it back to the second round. I can't remember the name of what he applied for, but he is a villain for a certain play, and I
oh,
thought that
that's
was super
cool.
dope. Yeah, he literally left that audition like and got back minutes before the tournament. He was like, "I'm ready to go." I was like, "Awesome!"
That's crazy.
So that was super cool. It was super.
But it was a good time. It was it was a very 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 good time. A lot of beers were drank.
Oh, I know. Too many. I my damage was 12, and I think 4 of them were like flabangoed,
I think I was
and that was not a good thing
15.
either.
I was like
Gee.
15 or 16, I think.
Nice,
With
nice.
two shotties.
Oof.
It was rough. It was rough. It was rough. It was hard to wake up this morning. My alarm went off at 9:30. I don't know why I set my alarm for 9:30. Uh, and then I woke
Yeah,
up at noon. So that tells you how good that alarm was, I guess.
we were planning to go golf today,
Would not have
and so like
happened.
I woke up about 10 o'clock, looked at my phone, and went, "Ooh, crap! I didn't wake up in time." And then
Nobody
I
did.
sent that message, and then Andrew was like, "Yeah, I didn't wake up in time." And then
Me
Bruce
and
and
Brucey
Garrett,
were
like
like
2
2
hours
hours
later,
later.
were like, "Yeah, we didn't get up." I was like, "Okay, good." I was gonna feel bad.
Like they were all talking, having a conversation. I literally think I just texted in the group chat. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like that's the only thing I said.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I responded same,
Yeah.
just nothing but the same. Oh my gosh, dude, we didn't even talk about what we did today. That's the highlight of the whole
Oh my
podcast.
god.
So
We bought a new game.
we bought a new game, and let me tell you, this was the best stupid game I have bought, and I couldn't tell you how long.
The greatest penguin heist ever.
The greatest penguin heist of all time is the name of this. It's $15 on Steam.
And it is stupid.
It is so fun. It's kind of like a Gang Beast Party Animals type thing. You've
Mm-hmm.
got a big fluffy penguin. You can slide around on the ground. You have a baseball bat and a pistol and all kinds of heist tools. And you go around and like you just like
Bonk.
stop bad guys and like heist, like you steal whatever you're supposed to steal. And it is very badly animated. All of everything's just like you get hit and you fly across the map type
It's
thing.
like ragdoll physics.
A rad doll effect, yeah, and it just makes it so funny.
It
We
is
had people
funny though.
joining in the Discord call just to watch us because it was so fun. We 100%, and I mean 100%, should have streamed it.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny.
That was content. That was 100% content.
It was funny.
But I highly suggest getting you 3 other friends and just downloading the greatest penguin heist of all time and just have at it for about 4 hours and you won't go wrong.
It'd been better if we were drinking.
Oh yeah, 100%. Cause like we were dying when you figured out. So you figured out that you can use Q&E and like swing his arms like he's swimming, and he basically
But it makes
runs
you
even
run faster.
faster. Yeah, and it was, oh my gosh, it
So
was
like
so
we're
funny.
holding W and like spamming Q&E and just like meow, you take off like
Yeah,
you're so much
yeah.
faster than normal.
Oh gosh, we were killing ourselves laughing.
It was funny.
And it made for a good like non-competitive. You didn't have to play against other people. It was just a good like goof
Just
off game.
relax. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good.
Threw on a 2000s country playlist and went to town.
That was fun. That was fun. Um, gosh, I kind of want to get back on it now.
Well,
Hmm.
it's getting close to that time, and I know you've been talking about it since we bought it.
I might as well.
But you know what we can do right now? My second favorite part of the podcast, because I want to hear it's like my little parrot.
Yeah, I was like, what? I got you now. I hope you don't drop it. All right. So we'll do Garrett's second favorite part of the podcast where we talk about what we thought about these beers, IPAs, lagers, you name it. And we'll give it a final rating and we'll tell you whether or not you should try it out. Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
However you want to do it.
All right. Well, I'll go first this time.
Okie dokie.
I think I go first every time. Do I?
Oh, I have no
Do I
idea.
go first? Oh, okay. So the Frothy Beard Company. Is it not? It's not a company. The Frothy Beard. It's a New England style IPA out of Charleston, South Carolina. Really cool tan paint. Has a little dude with a beard on it. Little smirk. Kind of smirk. I liked it. I I definitely enjoyed it. And shout out to you all. Thank you again for giving her the recommendation and checking out the podcast as well. I definitely would get this again. If I'm being honest with you, I would get this again. It kind of reminds me of it kind of reminds me of a brew dog. Not the hazy, but the what's the other one that I tried to get you to get?
Was it the one of them I've had?
I don't think so. It's the East Coast Crush. The Brewdog East Coast Crush reminds me of this frothy beard New England style. So if you've had anything like that, that's kind of what it tastes like. Very solid, not too powerful, not over powerful, not too hoppy. It is kind of dry. I like that. I'm gonna give it and I'm gonna give it a 6.8.
That's solid.
And that's pretty good. Anything above a 4 is
Solid.
like you should try it. And we don't give anything too high. We've had one that was in the 9s, and then we had 2 that were really close to 9s. But this is definitely worth trying. I definitely would get it again. And it's really kind of cool. I like something that I haven't had before. Yeah.
That's sick.
So I liked it. Garrett, what do you think about that Cloud Harvest from Rheingeist?
All right. Rheingeist, Cloud Harvest 05, unfiltered, juicy IPA. Smells delicious. So good. Pretty heavy on the senses off the first like initial sip. I don't even know it's so much like hoppiness is just like the citrus and hoppiness is like it's right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Very good beer. I didn't give it enough time. I kind of was last minute to the liquor store to get a beer, so I didn't let them really get super cold. So this one was a little bit more kind of room temperature, which a lot of people prefer their IPAs that way. But overall, a good beer. Again, the style, the colors are insane, which I'm a big fan of Ryan Geist cans. They always look super cool. I'm gonna do about 6.5.
6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
6.5. Very good. Not something I think I can just like pound one after another,
Right.
But like, I feel like it's a good like grilling. You know, you got a good steak or you got a real nice burger. You know, have you one of them with dinner and be
That's
good.
a good like summer beer sitting around the pool
Hanging out.
grilling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that vibe.
Or I could see it big time like chilling around a fire. You know, sip one or two of them. That'd be that'd be good.
Hmm.
But
I could see that. I could see that.
two.
Mine's kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel mine is more mine's more like a boating beer.
Yeah.
Like you'd be sitting on the water, you feel a cold breeze, and you take a sip of that. That's kind of what I imagine
Be
with
like,
that
woo,
one.
woo,
Woo-hoo. Wahoo!
wahoo.
So yeah, I liked it. Definitely would try it again, and I think I'm curious about that '05 compared to the '03. I wonder
I
how
say
different
it
it
was
is.
good. I'll bring you one. I've got a couple beers up here that I need you to try, anyways.
True, same here. Well,
But,
cool. I like that.
so two
Um,
good beers for first
yeah,
episode back. I'm pumped.
I know. Tell me about
So
it. And speaking of beers, if and first episode back, if you're new to the podcast, appreciate y'all being here. Definitely hit that subscribe button, that follow button, whatever you got, Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, whatever you're listening on, YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube. We would much appreciate that. Much appreciate it.
follow us on Twitter and like our page on Facebook. Uh, Best way to get kind of get at us if you had questions on the Discord or games or beers, recommendations, anything like that. Those are the two best ways to get at us. Or
And
our
don't forget about
personal
the Anchor voicemails.
bingo.
We haven't had one of those in a
We
while.
haven't. I'm ready for another one. Those are fun.
I know.
If you haven't, check us out both on our individual social medias. He is pretty much Cobra Concept at everything minus Twitter. It's concept underscore Cobra, right?
Yep.
And then pretty much all of mine are at Desperate Saint. Uh, Thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Thanks for hanging out with us. For especially since we were kind of slacking a little bit last month. We still appreciate you all and the support that you give us on podcast, stream, in all aspects. So we appreciate you.
And also, shout out to two of our subscribers who just got their second. There's a third. I think it's their second um, Patreon subscriber
Reward.
sticker
Mm-hmm.
reward. Um, so I thought that was super cool. I saw the email went through that two of our subscribers are getting their stickers or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's super cool. So,
And if you're interested, I believe there's a link under the episode here or on YouTube as well as all the major streaming platforms. If you're ever interested, it is do not feel obligated to have to do so, but it's just a way to kind of help support the podcast in another way. As always, make sure that you tell your friends, family, about the boys, about the Brew Boys.
the boys and their brews.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, links for the season 2 merch are in all descriptions below. Dano's got one of the shirts on right now. Super sick. Probably some of my favorite designs for the merch thus far. And
And if you get it, wash it on delicate. I I see that you have had problems, but like look, I have washed this numbers of time
So it still
and
looks good.
nothing, even the back. Every time I just wash it on delicate and it's just
Good to
it's
go.
totally good.
Sweet.
I think they did better the second go round than the first go, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest with you. Shout out Teespring.
Shout out Teespring.
Spring. They changed it from Teespring to Spring or something weird.
Do you have any final remarks? Anything you'd like to say?
Mm,
Get your brew on.
get your brew on. I think Orion says hi. I don't know if you can see her.
Yo,
Is
you
she in the
can.
camera right now?
Oh yeah, you can see her.
Oh yeah. She's been very needy today.
That's the brew dog.
That's the brew dog. She needs some bush beer. You know, the bush dog brews.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get her something. Would you like your bush dog brew?
Heck yeah.
She said yeah. She said yeah.
Alrighty. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Brews and the Boys podcast. I am one of your favorite co-hosts, Garrett, aka Desperate Saint. As always, I've got my good friend.
Dano, aka Cobra Concept.
We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, crack a cold one for us.